Within a month of going on sale, the Volvo EX60 triggered a spike in demand that forced the company to ramp up production. Buyers want these numbers: a £55,000 starting price, 680 horsepower, and a 16-minute rapid charge. But this car is defined by software. Volvo moved essential functions from mechanical components into a centralized computer. This means Volvo has removed almost every traditional physical control in the cabin. The buttons, dials, and switches you expect in a family SUV have been replaced by a digital-only interface. If you buy this car for the horsepower without accounting for how you'll actually interact with the dashboard, you risk spending £55,000 on a driving experience that feels more like a tech experiment than a tool. The EX60 uses a cell-to-body concept, where battery modules are built directly into the chassis instead of a separate pack. This saves 70 kilograms, boosting rigidity to supercar levels. Because the battery is the floor pan sits lower, giving rear passengers more legroom. That extra space translates to a 634-liter boot with deep underfloor storage and easily accessible ISOFIX points. However, the headline range requires a closer look. The touted 500-mile range belongs to the P12 trim, coming in 2026. The available P10 trim offers 410 miles. It beats BMW and Mercedes in raw power, but provides 90 miles less range. The P10 is exceptionally fast from a standstill, but for long-distance drivers, that missing range might be a significant factor in top trumps. While the core engineering optimizes interior room, the range numbers available today require early adopters to decide if they can live with less distance than the marketing suggests. Stripping away the physical buttons results in a minimalist dashboard that uses layers of wood, fabric, and chrome to create a high-quality, quiet aesthetic. The central trade-off is that almost every basic function, including wing mirror adjustments and climate control, is now exclusively managed through an iPad-style touchscreen. In most cars, turning on fog lights takes one button press. In the EX60, you navigate through multiple touchscreen menus. Each layer keeps your eyes off the road longer, and adjusting things like fan speed can hide your navigation map entirely. Volvo manages this shift with a supercomputer capable of 250 trillion operations per second, integrating Google's Gemini AI into the operating system. The system allows for complex, conversational voice commands. Tell the car you want to go indoor skydiving, stop for a high-speed charge, and find a fast food chain, and it pluses the route instantly. The car also uses interior cameras to monitor occupants. If the system sees a passenger with their feet on the dashboard, it will issue an audible safety warning to sit correctly. Volvo is asking you to trade tactile, physical muscle memory for a heavy reliance on voice commands and automated safety monitoring. On the move, the EX60 prioritizes isolation. It filters out road and wind noise to a degree rivaling a high-end luxury saloon. Despite running on massive 22-inch wheels, the car remains composed through corners, with seats that provide enough support to keep you planted. The 1800-watt Bowers & Wilkins audio system takes advantage of that silence. With 28 speakers, including units in the headrests, it creates a highly immersive listening environment. To maintain this comfort, adaptive dampers read the road surface 500 times a second to automatically adjust the suspension stiffness. If you want to manually change how the suspension feels, you must return to the touchscreen to choose between soft, standard, or firm profiles. The EX60 provides a luxury lounge environment focused on isolation, as long as you are willing to let the car's sensors decide the best settings for the road. To decide if the EX60 fits your life, let's plot it on this quadrant chart: traditional ergonomics versus a tech-first approach, and range versus comfort. The P10 model sits top right, a high-tech, spacious environment relying on software. For the tech-forward pragmatist who values silence and voice commands, this EV is highly effective. But for a tactile driver who needs physical dials, it will be frustrating. Constant menu diving is a high price for a clean dashboard. If you are a range maximizer who needs 500 miles of distance today, your options are to wait for the 2026 P12 or choose a competitor that already hits those figures. The EX60's value is dictated by your willingness to adapt to a digitized interface, rather than its horsepower or sales figures. It is one of Volvo's most capable cars, provided you're ready to drive the way it wants you to.